Thank you, Green Man Group. Now can you hear me? Yay. Okay, first of all, how many employees does it take to get a microphone working? About 20, and the Green Man Group, and everyone in the Student Center. Thank you so much. I want to welcome you to our Student Affairs Recognition Banquet. We have award winners that we want to recognize, but we also want to recognize all of you as employees and what you do for students and for this institution. We could not run this institution, UVU, without you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Before we get started, I need to give some special thanks to those who have helped plan this event. First of all, if I could have the Awards of Excellence Committee stand, Adonica Lamone, Lori Peters, Kelly Clark, Cassidy Carter, and Valine Perry. Let's give them a round of applause. They planned this event and they made sure that we had really good food to eat, and we appreciate that. We want to thank our UVU studios and broadcasting for being here and broadcasting our event. Thank you, guys. Matt Chambers is doing our photography. Thank you, Matt. And a special thanks to Austin Bagley, Olivia Wood, Jessica Carranza, Dining Services, Green Man Group, Voice Line, and the Student Center facilities. If we could give them a round of applause. It takes a lot of work, a lot of people, and a lot of planning together to be able to bring something like a college and or university together. And you are a big piece of that. I was thinking today how it's been 20 years since I came to UVU. And I remember my first day on campus. I came in for a job interview, and the job was the Director of Accessibility Services. And I had been working for Charter Behavioral Health. They had a school, a Provo Canyon Boys School, and they had a hospital, Charter Canyon Hospital. This is a long time ago. And I'd been working for them for 10 years. They were both lockup facilities. And I remember when I came on campus, one of the things I thought was, gosh, people really want to be here because no one wants to be locked up in a treatment center. And so I thought, I would love to be working in a place where people want to be here, and no one is forcing them to be here, and they want to be able to improve themselves. And I remember thinking, I just love the energy of UVU. I love the students. I love the employees. I love how everyone is happy and busy. And I remember I would love to work here. And so when I got the job, I remember thinking, wow, this is just a dream job. And it really has been for 20 years. It's been such an honor to work here and to work with all of you. This morning I was thinking about, I wanted to recognize some employees in student affairs that weren't just the ones getting the awards. So I thought I'll just ask students, I'll just randomly ask them, who has helped them before in student affairs. So at 8 o'clock I started looking for students, and I couldn't find any. So at 9:30 I did find some, and it was just random, like if they were sitting in the lunchroom, or if they were sitting in the Hall of Flags, or just wherever. I just would say, hey, would you mind asking me or answering a couple questions? And one of the first things that I said was, has anyone in student affairs ever helped you? Do you ever feel like that student affairs has helped you? And almost all of them said, what student affairs? So I showed them an org chart. And they're like, oh yeah, and they immediately looked at the org chart and said, oh yeah, and they started talking about different people and the different organizations that had helped them. And so I just want to share some of those with you today. A history major said that her success is owed to Jen Barrett and Dustin Lamont. She says they're friendly, supportive, they schedule intramural games for her. They have been a key to her success. All of these students said they would not be successful without these people. I had multiple students say two names, Dara Snow and Barney Nye. They said they were always helped them to be involved. They were kind and supportive. They had an answer for everything, and they were helpful and they listened. Several students said they felt like their mom or their dad, and some of these students are, I mean, they could be the same age, especially as Dara, and yet they felt like she was someone that they would go to for help. A student mentioned Sue Stevenson. They said that she gave him a mock interview and she helped me believe that I could be successful. Another one, Heather Bennett, mentioned Keith Jensen. She said, he saved my life. Lauren Benally in financial aid. The student said, I was going through a crazy crap time and I was super upset. And I came in and sat down and she said, just eat the candy, just eat candy. And he said, I just kept eating candy and candy, and the more candy I ate, the better I felt. She says, just eat all the candy you want. I'm gonna walk you through this. He said, she calmed me down. She walked me through the process. She helped me get through it, and I am still here at school because of Lauren. Another student said that he wouldn't be here without April Kirk in financial aid. He said he came in, he had maximum credit issues and holds. He was very upset. He said she walked him through the process. She calmed him down. She made phone calls for him. When he walked out, he knew exactly what he needed to do. If he got stumped, he could go back to her and get help. And he's scheduled to graduate in December in pre-engineering. I could tell you, I could just go on and on and on because students had so many things they wanted to tell me. A number of students mentioned Victor Narsamulu. They said he was a second father to them, that he never gave up on them, that he makes them believe that they can succeed, and they have never experienced that before. You know what? That is what student affairs is all about. And that's what you do every day. It is a noble profession, and we want to thank you so much for everything that you do. Next, we're going to have Voice Line come up, and they're going to do several numbers for us, and I'm going to have to give them back their microphone. So let's go ahead and have you come up.
Mic's not on. There we go. Test. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba-da-da. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. I've got myself a notion. You're one I know that you understand. We set the world in motion by reaching out for each other's hand. Maybe we'll discover what we should have known all along. Yeah, one way or another, together's where we both belong. If we listen to each other's heart, you'll find you're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, seeing it eye to eye. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If a wall should come between us, too high to climb, too hard to break through, I know that love will lead us and find a way to bring me to you. You don't have to hurry, think before you count us out. Oh, and you don't have to worry, I won't ever let you down. each other's heart. You'll find you're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why. The first time ever seeing it, how do I?
Eye to eye.
How's everybody doing? Are you guys ready to have some fun today? Got some awesome awards to give out and a few more songs for you. Here we go. 'Cause if you're ever lonely, stop. You don't have to be. No, yeah, yeah. Oh, after all, it's only a beat away from you and me. Yeah, listen to each other's heart. You'll find you're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why. For the first time ever seeing it, how do I? Oh, why do I?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it? Got it? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna give you my heart. Oh, cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. Oh, I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I see you. Cow. Bum 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 bum. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Oh, cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I wanna give you my heart. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in a sky full of stars, I think I see you. Yeah! Bum, 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 Cause in the sky, cause you're a sky full of stars, it's a heavenly view. Yeah, such a heavenly view.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is this working? Hooray. Okay, now we'd like to have Michelle Kearns, our Associate Vice President of Student Success and Retention, come up, and she is going to introduce our first two awards.
So I get to work pretty closely with my colleagues across the institution and other divisions, and they do a fine job. But I think that Student Affairs has more than its fair share of stellar employees. Something about this important student success work seems to attract people who want to make a difference in the world, individuals who find creative solutions regardless of resource constraints, and individuals who are more concerned with results than who gets the credit. One of those individuals is MARCY GLASSFORD. MARCY has served at UVU for almost a quarter of a century. That's just a fun way to say 24 years. That's a long time, but she's been here a while, and I've known her for the last 6 years when we started working together on the Title III Grant and Retention Initiative. MARCY's consistent contributions to the institution have had a substantial impact on student success. She's dedicated, professional, technically adept, and efficient. These qualities are evident in her consistent contributions and her exemplary performance, and some of her really impressive results are evident in our Early Alert program, in Retention Mentors, in Stoplight, and the BRM implementation. These are just a few examples of her notable contribution to student success at UVU, and MARCY is a relentless advocate of the mission of UVU. A round of applause for MARCY as she joins me on the stage. I'd also like to be the first to congratulate MARCY on completing her Master's in Public Administration from BYU in a couple of weeks. And if there are awards for the best shoe collection, I'd also be bestowing that today as well. MARCY, on behalf of Michelle Taylor and Student Affairs, I'm pleased to present you with the Vice Presidential Award of Excellence. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I had written something down and then I scrapped it because I think it would make me too nervous. Thank you. I really am humbled. It's been a difficult couple of years, both professionally and personally, and I so appreciate this recognition. I have really enjoyed my time here at UVU. As you see in my bio, I have tried to take advantage of every opportunity that I've been given, from getting my degrees to finding my husband. And UVU has given me so many opportunities that I can't even begin to tell you about. And I look to each of you and your examples, and I take every opportunity to just soak up what you all know. You're all amazing. The people that I've worked with throughout the years, I've been so impressed with. One of those people is Michelle Kearns. I really appreciate her example, her work ethic, and her friendship. And I am very grateful for the people that I work with in my office. I have an amazing team: Martha Wilson, Tara Ivy, Candace Morris, Noemi Medina, Chelsea Cokerhans, the wonderful retention mentors, the orientation leaders. I work with some incredible people. And I am very thankful for my husband, for his love and support and putting up with me. Thank you very much.
Take a picture. Okay.
Wade Oliver is another example of the stellar employees dedicated to student success in our division. With 20 plus years in higher education and recognized as truly an expert in his field, Wade has had a tremendous impact on advising at UVU. He's well respected for his depth of knowledge and is often called on both on and off campus to speak to and represent important advising issues. Wade has an excellent work ethic, superior writing and technical skills, and a very professional demeanor. If I could, I would bestow on him a special medal of bravery for his willingness to tackle a very difficult and unpopular project this year. Nelson Mandela said, "The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." And Confucius said, "To see what is right and not do it is the want of courage." Wade was willing to weather personal attacks and criticism because he knew students needed his advocacy. Please welcome and a round with applause for Wade as he joins me on this stage. Wade is pursuing a doctorate degree in educational leadership at Northeastern, and he will be ABD in 12 short weeks. Super excited for him. And I was also not listed on his extensive resume are his bodyguard skills, and I think that we should be added because he was a great protector on those sketchy streets of Boston when we were there for residency. So it's my privilege and honor to present Wade with the Vice President Award of Excellence for your tremendous contribution to UVU and student success. Congratulations.
I had no idea being fat and big was a skill, but I guess it is, and I appreciated that. I actually did write something down, and I'm going to stick to it if you don't mind, because I'm afraid I'm going to bawl. I just want to start by thanking Vice President Taylor and Michelle Kearns and the executive team for this honor. I am very touched by it and very grateful. I am also very grateful to my coworkers. I hope they understand and know that everything that I can do and every success that I have, I attribute much of it to them. I appreciate Clint and Andrea and all those whom I've worked with over the last several years. And of course, I'm very grateful to my best friend and wife of 19 years this month, believe it or not, Jenny, who's here with me today. About 20 years ago, I was a new professional at Salt Lake Community College working in the Academic and Career Advisement Department, advising students and managing the new student orientation program. During an individual meeting with the director of the department, Denise Huftelen, who incidentally is now the president, asked me about my career path and anticipated goals. I struggled with that question, likely due to the specific nature of it. Up to that point, I had basically one guiding principle when it came to my career, and I shared it with Denise. That principle is that I simply wanted to be in a position where I might influence others for good. Gratefully, she accepted that and provided kind encouragement. I was certainly in a position where I was able to do just that. As an advisor and through orientation programs, I was able to provide some level of assistance to literally thousands of students over a period of 5 years. It was during a period when we were determining and implementing some proposed improvements to the orientation program that I realized that influencing people for good can occur in ways other than one-on-one interactions. I realized that influencing systems has the potential for touching more students for good than I could do with them individually. This realization provided some clarity when it came to career goals for me. I began to watch for opportunities to gain leadership experience and affect systemic support of students. It began with the opportunity to help with an advising conference, which led to the opportunity to create the Utah Advising Association, which persists today, supporting hundreds of academic advisors as they in turn support thousands of college students. Next came an opportunity to move on to a position at Utah State University, where I was able to develop programs like a peer advising program and developing a university advising center for students who are undeclared and exploring and struggling. Both of these persist and still affect many students annually. Then came a chance to take a position at Christopher Newport University in Newport News, Virginia, where I was asked to develop the institution's first professional advising center for undeclared and struggling students, and then unite that center with the Career Development Center, creating a holistic resource for students that still continues now. Then the most wonderful opportunity of them all. I was given the opportunity to come to Utah Valley University to support the advisement community, who in turn supports so many, many students. Being at UVU is truly the highlight of my career, and here's why. It was here where I have received greater enlightenment regarding affecting others for good. Yes, this can happen systemically through our amazing programs that affect thousands, but paradoxically, it can also happen to a great extent individually. Here's what I mean. I am a product of what UVU represents: open admission, opportunity, student support. I flunked out of high school, stumbled into a community college with my friend, having no intention to participate myself. Even though I was hanging back behind my friend, a woman at the admissions desk made me take an application to fill out, and she would not take no for an answer. I went to orientation, but became so nervous I stood up to leave. And not only leave and not return, only to be greeted by an orientation leader whose genuine and kindly manner put me at ease and convinced me to stay. Later, an employee of the institution took a chance on me and selected me as a student assistant, which included payment of my future tuition and fees, making it possible for me to remain. These are just a few examples of when my own life has been influenced for good. Yet not only did they help me, one person, they were part of a chain reaction that made possible all of those things I previously mentioned and more. And most of it was simply part of the everyday duties of someone's job, not to mention the fact that my 4 children have absolutely no question about attending college and how to do so. This will undoubtedly carry on for generations. Here at UVU, we are uniquely positioned to have a profoundly positive effect in the lives of more people than we can count by simply doing our work with a student-focused and service-oriented attitude. This very mission and nature of the university positions each of us, you and me, to affect more people for good than we can count by simply assisting the one we are assisting at the moment. I am very grateful and truly honored to receive this award. I am also very aware of all those who, in ways that might have seemed insignificant at the time, have affected my life's trajectory. So as you can see, this award is not just for me, it is also for them. Thank you very much.
Okay, well deserved. Next, we'd like to have Andrew Stone come up. Andrew is the Assistant Vice President for Recruitment and Outreach, and he will be announcing our next winner. I wanted to say Medal of Honor, but that's not quite right, but it's close.
Excellent, thank you. Well, I just first want to congratulate all the winners today. Having been part of the group that selects these, I can tell you it's hard to narrow it down. And as a millennial, I want all of us to get a trophy. So congratulations to everybody, the whole student affairs team. But first, we're going to focus on Liz Andrus, and I'm excited to recognize her and congratulate her for her accomplishments, her achievements for the recruitment and outreach area. Liz and I started, I think we've met before, but we didn't really interact until I got this job. But she and I were email friends, because I would email Liz Childs in frustration with a student meeting that I had just gotten out of or something, and Liz might send something back that says, I don't think that was meant for me, and I'm like, oh, excuse the language. And so we interacted that way, and apparently that happens a lot, and they both recognize that they just get each other's emails, and so watch that if you're sending something private to either one. But in my time, I've been really impressed with Liz for her work ethic. Liz always tells you that she's a morning person, and I'm getting used to seeing emails that'll roll in at like 4 a.m., and I try and say, Liz, that's not morning, that's middle of the night. But she is dedicated to her work. She is dedicated to her employees, to her department, to their programs. She demonstrates that in so many ways. I mean, she just juggling all that she juggles demonstrates it enough. But she's extremely dedicated and hardworking. She started her career, as you can see in her bio, as an elementary school teacher, and that commitment to students still exists today and still is what I believe drives her today. Her programs and some of the SCUP programs provide tutoring and literacy programs for UVU students, but also K through 12 students. They have students coming from around the area over to the SCUP office every day to be tutored and to receive tutoring services. They provide GED prep courses in Spanish to help people who need to go and take the GED but only speak Spanish. Recently, she took on a program called the UVU Prep Program, which is a pre-engineering program for 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. It's a program that's seen great success in Texas, and she took it on here at UVU, and it's already starting to show tremendous promise, great success influencing the lives of students, especially with the focus towards currently underrepresented and low-income students who can come here, and for 7 weeks during the summer, they can take advantage of this engineering prep program, connecting them with hands-on experiences with people in the industry, but also faculty on campus. And she and her team lead that. Now around the state, people are coming saying, hey, Liz, we want to take that. We wanted you to replicate this in our area, and we want to be a partner with you. And she's getting more and more of those requests because of the greatness of the program. One final thing just about Liz is anyone who knows her would tell you her positive attitude is contagious in a good way. She's always cheery. She's always happy. She always seems to be happy with her work. She'll tell me in our meetings, she'll tell me the upcoming things, and I'm feeling really overwhelmed for her. And she always says, it'll be fine. We're fine. We're going to get through it. And she just does it with a smile, and you know that they will, and she does well. Last summer, before I had this position, I saw Liz in the cafeteria. She had her UV prep going, and she had 100+ students here on campus and no bus to take them to their lunch. And most of us, I would probably be freaking out. And she said, we're fine. It'll be okay. I went to food services. We got them. They're making 100 lunches really quick. And she was just ready to go. And that's just the kind of person Liz is. And it's an honor to recognize her for all of her great work that she does for UVU, for her staff, especially for the students that she works with. And so please join me in recognize her for this deserving award. And she's excited I told her I'd go fast so she could have my time. So I think it's like 8 or 9 minutes worth of message for you.
No, I'll go slow. Thank you for this award. It's such a surprise and an honor. And I want to thank Michelle and Andrew for the support and the mentoring. They're not telling you all the little text messages and emails of what do I do here, but I really appreciate your leadership and for what you've done. I feel like I need to say, if you have a 6th grader, please come to UVU Prep because we still have openings. And the beautiful thing is it is free. But I want to tell you that I love working at UVU. I really have the best job. I know you guys think you do, but I really do. Let me just tell you a quick example. SCUP is kind of a well-kept secret here. It stands for School, College, University Partnership. So obviously we don't say that, we just say SCUP. And one thing that we get to do is we get to work with low-income, underrepresented populations. And so I get the opportunity to provide intervention in elementary students' lives, middle school lives, and also, of course, college students, but also the older non-traditional students with a Spanish GED. I just want to share one quick experience. I had a mother come into our office, and she was signing her daughter up for our free after-school program, which is in the Boulders community. And I'm not sure if you know where that is, but that's in South Provo, and it's in a low income and a lot of high-risk population lives there. And so she came in and she was filling the form out, and well, she speaks Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. So we brought someone to translate, and we're kind of working through the process. And then she says through the interpreter, how much is this going to cost? And I said, well, it's free. And she kept saying, no, what is the cost? And she's obviously on a meager income. And when she realized that it would actually be free, that we were going to give her daughter free help, she just started to bawl, just cried, because she could not believe that we were going to be that kind to help her daughter get the education that she needed. And as a mother, we all know we want the best for our kids, and it's such a neat opportunity to be able to work with people like this and to give them free services. But I didn't do this alone. I've had some wonderful coworkers, and I wouldn't dare name names, and we have great grant writers that keep getting grants for us, and I don't know what we're going to do with the money, but I shouldn't say that. But anyway, but just wonderful, wonderful committee that and workers, and I thank you for all the support that you give us. I do want to thank my family for their support, and I want to say a thank you to Sharon Bluth. She actually introduced me to my husband, Stephen, and he's just so wonderful and such a great support. And when I do get really tunnel vision, and I narrow in on these little projects. So thanks again for this recognition.
Okay, I just want Liz to know that if she doesn't know what to do with the money, I will help her. That's one thing I'm really good at, is we always need money. Okay, now we'd like to invite back to the stage our wonderful voice line. So, voice line, come on up.
For those of you that do not know, VoiceLine is a relatively new group to UVU. We've seen a lot of progress, made a lot of progress in a very short amount of time. We've existed for maybe a couple of years. And it's important that you know that our success is a reflection of the support and help that we've received from you. And with that being said, we want to dedicate these next 3 songs to you.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and waiting in silence till you come and sit a while with me. Raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. Who can say for certain? Maybe you're still here. I feel you all around me. Your memory so clear. Deep in the stillness, I can hear you speak. You're still an inspiration. Can it be that you are my forever love? And you are watching over me from up above. Fly me up to where you are beyond the distant stars. I wish upon tonight to see you smile on stormy seas. If only for a while to raise me up. A breath away is not far to where you are. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. Over me, I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to 1, 2, and 3. 2, 2, and 3.
I woke up this morning with this feeling inside me that I can't explain, like a weight that I've carried, been carried away. And I know something's coming. I don't know what it is, but I know it's amazing. It saves me, my time is coming. I'll find my way out of this longest route. And it feels like today, I know. It feels like today, I'm sure. It's the one thing that's missing, the one thing you're wishing, the last sacred blessing in me. It feels like today. Feels like today. You treat life like a picture, but it's not a moment that's frozen in time. I'm not gonna wait till you make up your mind at all. So while this storm's breaking, while there's light at the end of the tunnel, keep on running towards it, releasing the pressure that's my heartache. Soon this dam will break, and it feels like today, I know. It feels like today, I'm sure. It's the one thing that's missing, the one thing you're wishing, the last sacred blessing in me. It feels like today. It feels like today. Oh, oh, oh. Whoa, 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 it feels like today. Whoa, I know. It's the one thing that's missing, the one thing you're wishing, the last sacred blessing. And it feels like today, like your life feels like your life is changing.
So big and loud, I jump so high, I touch the clouds. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now stretch my hands out to the sky. We dance with monsters through the night. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now.
'Cause I'm on top of the world, hey, I'm on top of the world, hey, waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt, I've been waiting to smile, hey, holding it in for a while, hey, take you with me if I can, been dreaming of this since a child, I'm on top of the world, outside my window, I feel it in my soul, so the stars were burning so bright, the sun was out till midnight, I take it in my soul, 'cause I'm on top of the world, hey, I'm on top of the world, hey, waiting on this for a while now, waiting to smile, been holding it in for a while, hey, take it with me if I can, been dreaming of this since a child, I'm on top of the world. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Voice Line. Listening to that just, oh, it's so beautiful. It just feels like melted butter all over me. I love food. Okay, next we'd like to bring up Trish Howard. Trish is our Director of Financial Aid, and she is going to introduce our next award winner, Rita McCannon. So, Trish, give it up for Trish.
It's an honor for me to be able to talk a little bit about Rita. I've known Rita for 10 years as I've worked in the financial aid and scholarships office. And during those 10 years, I can probably count on my hand the number of times Rita has not worked over 40 hours a week. Her heart and her soul has been given to the financial aid and scholarships office and the students there. And if I were to pick one of the UVU core themes that Rita exemplifies, it would be student success. She loves the students, and her desire is for them to be able to complete their education and to complete it as easily as possible when it comes to financial aid. The students love her. A few years ago, we thought we maybe need to move her because she was always bombarded by students and she needed some protected time, and they still found her. They love to associate with her and be with her. As I thought about what I could say about Rita today, I thought about an experience that many of you are probably aware of by John Aquare. He was an Olympic runner. He was a marathon runner for the country of Tanzania. And they had high hopes for him in 1968 to represent their country in the Mexico City Olympics. As the race started, he fell and he badly injured himself. And as the runners started to go past him, he realized that he would not be a medal contender. And yet something within him told him to go on. And so he got up and he continued to run. And about an hour after the first place runner had already left the stadium, he came into the stadium. Many of the individuals there asked him why he would continue on when he knew there was no way he could win that race. And he said that his country didn't send him to start the race, his country sent him to finish the race. I think often about Rita when I think of this story because she comes in every day, and it doesn't matter what it is, she finishes whatever she starts. I can go to Rita for anything that I need, and it's always there and it's always accurate. One of the final things they said about John, one time in an article, they said, "For some, the only reward is a personal one. There are no medals, only the knowledge that they finished what they set out to do." The one thing that I think Rita stands apart with so many other individuals is she does not expect any recognition. In fact, I know this is really hard on her today. And she always does what she does because of a personal drive that she has within her. As financial aid is heavily regulated, there is no one I would want standing beside me as we go through an audit. And I'm really appreciative to Rita, and I think she deserves this award. So if you'll come up, Rita, please.
Thank you. I appreciate this. It's nice to be appreciated. I've been at UVU a long time. It was UVSC when I came here, probably about the same time as Michelle. And a lot of changes, a lot of people have come and gone. And with all the changes, though, the thing that hasn't changed is the goal that we all have to help the students. And I appreciate all of you so much because I know a lot of you here have helped me when I've had a student with a problem that I couldn't resolve. And I know that I can call on any of you anytime and you'll drop what you're doing and help the student because that's why we're here. I'm a little uncomfortable with the name of this award, excellence. I don't feel like I'm excellent at anything, but I am pretty good at some things. And I work with a lot of amazing people. And I feel that together we are an excellent team, and I am happy to be part of it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Rita. I think we can all say yes, she does exemplify excellence. Last but not least, we want to bring up Alexis Palmer. Alexis is our Associate Vice President for Student Life, and she is going to introduce our next award winner. So here she is.
Well, I am thrilled to be here today and have the opportunity to recognize my colleague and my dear friend, MARCY King. If you have enjoyed VoiceLine today or the Green Man Group, it's because of the work MARCY does. MARCY started working at the Volunteer and Service Learning Center, actually, as a part-time employee back in 2005. And that was my first interaction with MARCY. And I was so impressed with her at that time and the work that she did for me and what she was doing as a student leader. And it's so exciting to see her here today as one of our colleagues that we're recognizing. I asked some of our other colleagues who work in student life if they would give me a few of the traits that they really appreciate about MARCY. I want to share with you today. She has a wow factor. Whenever you work with her, you always walk away with that wow factor. And every time she puts on an event or is a part of a program that we do or an activity, she always has that wow factor part. She's creative and caring. She's a great mentor to students. She's extremely professional, and she's elevated the role of what advisors in student life and leadership do. She makes everyone feel important. She's successful. She sees success and wants students to be successful in their education and their personal lives. She's dedicated to student success in her profession. She has an infectious enthusiasm. She's efficient and effective in all of that she does, and she makes sure that the students are effective and efficient in what they are doing by following policy and processes and procedures. She's a joy to work with, and she makes work in UVU a better place. And I think those are the exact qualities that I appreciate in MARCY, and for those of you who have worked with her, recognize that as well. There's a quote that I want to share with you about a teacher. The mediocre teacher talks. The good teacher explains. The superior teacher demonstrates. And the great teacher inspires. And that is who MARCY is. She's inspired me. She's inspired hundreds and hundreds of students. And she's inspired many faculty and staff and many of you who are in this room today. And so I am very pleased to bring up MARCY King and to recognize her and give her this award. Thank you, MARCY.
Thank you. That was nice, and those are very nice things, and so I'll take note of who to pay later. But I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. I don't feel comfortable with this. I like being behind the scenes and providing ways for my students to be able to be on stage and to have these moments. And then you look at that, and my hair, I didn't think it could get bigger, and it was big and bubblicious-like, and it's a little too much. So I'll make this brief so we can all get back to our offices. But I guess first and foremost, thank you, Michelle and Alexis. It was when they first told me, I said no because I didn't want to stand up here. But I appreciate Michelle's support for student life and seeing the need for these programs and giving us opportunities to provide them for our students. I appreciate Alexis. I've gotten to work with her for a while now, and I appreciate her mentorship and the things that she's taught me, specifically about being present in meetings. So when you're in a meeting, you're in a meeting. When you're with a student, you're with that student. And then also when I go home, that it's okay to be at home and to be present there. To Becca, my first supervisor, Becca Grulich, I appreciate the opportunities that she gave me to take initiative in projects on campus and to kind of use my creativity and to develop things and sometimes get rid of things that we've just done because we do and to create new ones. And then to Phil Clegg. Phil's been a mentor of mine for a long time, and I appreciate his support and for seeing things in myself that I wasn't able to see and helping me tap into my potential and to be able to have opportunities where I can develop myself and to become the best me that I can be. My office staff, I know a lot of people have said they found their dream job, and I have to say the same thing. I love my job, and I love it because even though things are crazy and they're hard sometimes, and it's fun to be able to come to work and work with people that I enjoy being around, and having the opportunity to work with them and to develop things with them is a big blessing for me. And then some of them are here, but my students, I love working with my students. That's what I love the most about my job, is that I get to work with students and help them come in with an idea and a passion and a desire to do good on campus and help them, even though sometimes I have to be the bad guy and I have to explain the policies and the procedures that they don't enjoy, Steve, but help them, teach them how to navigate those systems so that they can really accomplish what it is that they want to while they're here at UVU. I love being a part of that and watching them grow and flourish in that regard. So although I don't completely understand why I'm receiving this award, I do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you and all that you do for student affairs at UVU. Thanks.
Thank you, Marisa. Just so you know, big hair rocks. I went to high school in the 70s and 80s. Wow, we took it to new levels. You would have been great there. Okay, next we have Voice Line. They're going to do 2 more wonderful numbers for us, so come on up.
Thank you.
I dare you 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this is what you meant when you said that you were spent. And now it's time to build from the bottom of the pit right to the top. Don't hold back. Packing my bags and giving the academy a rain check.
I don't ever wanna let you down. I don't ever wanna leave this town. 'Cause after all, the city never sleeps tonight. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. So this is where you fell, and I'm left to sell. Path to heaven leads through miles of clouded hell, right to the top.
Right to the top.
Don't look back. Packing my bags and giving the commodities a rain check. I don't ever wanna let you down. I don't ever wanna leave this town. 'Cause after all, the city never sleeps tonight. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. Road never looks so lonely. This house doesn't burn down slowly to ashes, to ashes. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're doing our team building activity right here. I want to thank you all. This is the end of our program. Before you leave, though, I just want to say to you how important your work is. What you do every day matters. It matters to students. And when students succeed, communities succeed, and generations succeed, and families succeed. What you do touches so many lives. Thank you so much for everything you do. It is so appreciated. And I am so honored to be able to be a part of it with you. Thank you so much for coming. I would love to give you the day off. Unfortunately, the governor said no. But we do have the Green Man Group who's going to get us back to work. And thanks so much. Green Man Group.